foreign tattoos. They might look really sexy, but be very careful before you go putting something on your body indelibly into the future. Because what you think looks profound, exotic, really cool could actually be something that you're never going to be able to live down for the rest of your life. What you see here is an Instagram shot of the French Muay Thai boxer Jimmy Vienot, and this was going around social media last week in Thailand, and there were many news articles about it, and Thais were both horrified and in stitches about what he has there written up his arm. Now, he's a Thai boxer, I get it. So he wants to write this up his arm in Thai and get it put there just to show that he's a Muay Thai fighter. And this is how you write Muay Thai. You've got the ma, wa, yo. This is a m sound here. This is oi, so ma, oi, muay. It's not mui, by the way, it's muay. And then we have this. This is an I vowel. This is a t, so Thai. If it's just written like this, it means the TAI people, all the way from southern China down to Thailand or Siam. But if you put this yo yak here at the end, it signifies the people of Siam. This was put here just basically to make it look higher and differentiate the Siamese people from the TAI Thai people as a whole. And so this is how we write Thai for the Thai people or Thailand. So Muay Thai, Thai boxing. Muay is just boxing. And so if you have a look at this, it looks pretty much the same as what he's written here, except for one very important point. Have a look here. Look at the head of the letter. And so we call this colloquially in Thai, hua tak, a splattered head. And these letters are very, very different. Let's have a look. This is the Thai abugida. It's not an alphabet. These are the Thai consonants, and it's based on the Indic matrix, which is a map of the human mouth. So ko 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 ngo. This is the back of the throat, cha 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 cha, the palate all the way down to the lips. So pa 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 ma. And this is the last one in this 5x5 section, which is an M sound. Ma. It's from the lips and it's nasal. And that means it comes out here. Ma. So this is ma ma, which is the letter we use in Thai boxing, muay, muay. Remember, not mui, but muay, meaning boxing. Now, have a look at this letter here. It's almost the same if you have a look from the waist down, but this part here, it's splattered up top. Now, this represents the Sanskrit letter G, and we lost the voicing in modern Thai, which turns to Kha, kha, kha. It's a normal aspirated K sound, which is identical to this sound. So if we come in and look at this is actually pronounced Khuay. Now, I don't even really want to say this word. It sounds really bad. It's the word for penis. And it pretty much has the same shock effect as the C word in English, if you're not Australian. This word here is normally spelt with this Kha here. And so that's how it's normally written. Many Thais were saying, oh, when I think of that word, I think of this, but actually it's basically writing K-U-N-T instead of C-U-N-T in English. As soon as you see it, if you're a native speaker, you're going to have that reaction. You're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, what did I just see? And that's what the Thai people were unanimously feeling when they saw this written up Jimmy Vienot's arm last week. Now, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. And so what I did is I tried to find other pictures of him where I could see the tattoo. And so I found this one here. I found a bunch of others. And so I just used some software to straighten it out. But you can actually see that this indeed is this Korakang letter, not the Ma letter here. And so to a non-native Thai speaker, yeah, pretty much looks the same. Maybe you thought it was a stylized version of this Ma, but it's not. This is a Korakang. And so this is pronounced, ขอโทษล่วงหน้านะครับ. I'm sorry in advance to any Thai viewers. Khuay Thai. So what does it mean? Khuay Thai. It means Thai penis. And actually we can see here in Wiktionary that there are all these derivatives of this same word. And you can see here while they're using this kha consonant here, we can actually see the exact word that's written on Jimmy's arm here. And so we have Khuay, Khuay, Kharoy, Khuoy, Khuay, Khuay, all of these, and joy, of course. These are all different variations of this same word, which is basically the C word in Thai, but for penis. And this actually goes back a long way. This has got thousands of years of etymology. In Proto-Thai, this was a voiced sound. So this was Khuay. By the time it gets to Lao, Khuay. Now that's really fascinating because actually we have this fish in English, koi fish. Very often you'll hear Thais laugh when they hear somebody with a New York accent, that someone that says like coffee, this O turns into an or, coffee, and so they'll say koi as koi. But this is actually the same sound shift that we get in Lao. In Lao we have koi, in Thai we have koi, it's or, it's got this glide in it, and it means penis. And you've got this right across these Austronesian languages, and it's fascinating because in Proto-Austronesian, Khuay means the tentacles of an octopus, so maybe that's where it's come from. It's, I guess, a similar shape, similar substance, I don't know. But anyway, in modern Thai, this is just not a good word to use because it means penis, and it can be basically thrown in almost like the F word. You can throw it into any sentence to turn that sentence into an expletive. So rather than saying Muay Thai, Thai boxing, his tattoo now is an homage to Thai penises. I don't know, maybe it was intentional. I don't think so. I find it hard to believe that any Thai would have put this on his arm knowing what it says. So I guess maybe it wasn't a Thai person putting it on his arm there. Whoever it was, they've got a lot of answering to do for putting this on his arm, if indeed this isn't what he intended to write. I imagine he wanted to write Muay Thai. So there you go. Khuay, 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 all these different words for penis. Actually, you can see down here are a whole lot of other words that you need to avoid when writing on your arm. These are all the different Thai words for penis. There are a lot. You have to be super, super careful when getting Thai written on your arm. And if you have a look at a clip that I put out the other day on Kampuan, so this is basically the way that Thais have plays on words, you actually have to be careful of any other word that may include these vowels or the initial consonant, because Thais have a way of playing on words. Well, they'll swap two halves of a word around, and so it may seem like an innocent word, but to any native Thai speaker, when they're swapped around, they know also that it means the same word. So often you'll hear this is da, meaning penis again. So you'll have things with d and then an o in the second word that when Thais flip around mean the same word. Thai humor can get very dirty. It can go down into the klong very fast. Just be very, very careful. So if you are thinking of getting a tattoo in a foreign script, first of all, ask yourself, why do you want it in the foreign script? Does it look exotic? Why don't you just write it in your own script? If you do want it in a foreign script, don't just go and translate something from English to what you think sounds cool in that language, because it may not translate. And when you put it into the language, it may mean something very different, or at the very least, just look silly. One thing I'd like to note here is that Westerners getting Asian scripts aren't the only people tattooing themselves in scripts that they don't understand. Actually, you would know the sakyan, which are the sacred so-called Thai tattoos, but these are generally written in the Khom script or in the Lana script or in different ancient scripts. And I can tell you that most Thais that get these Khom scripts put on them in these sacred tattoos, they don't actually understand the script either. They trust the monk that's put it on them that this is a blessing and that it means something good that's going to bless them. Normally, like Namo Buddhaya will be somewhere in there, which means basically paying homage to the Buddha. But Thais in general don't actually understand what these mean as well. So I guess it's kind of the same things when Thais get sacred tattoos put on them in the Khom or the Lana script or whatever script it is. It's getting this exotic script that is hopefully going to bless them and at the very least look cool. What's happened to Jimmy Vienot here is pretty tragic. I don't know how he's going to get out of this one, but it's going to be pretty hard turning this core back into a mo. So I don't know how this is going to be rescued. Let me know your tattoo stories. What do you think about this one here? What could be done to rectify this? Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, scan the QR code, come and continue the conversation in the Discord server. I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side.
you